Hello and welcome to the Titan Plays Europa Universalis 4. Now, this version that I have here is the demo version. This is not the full version, so I will be playing a bit less. Now, the purpose for this video is to introduce people who have not played Europa Universalis games before, especially those that have played mainly CK2, that's Crusader Kings 2, or Civilization 5, and want to get a good feel about what this game is. If you are familiar with the Europa Universalis series and want to see me play a bit more of the actual game, it will come out tomorrow. I am recording this on Monday. So, for this video I will be just going through the normal basic stuff of the game as to introduce players, and I can hear that this music is far too loud, so I'm going to turn that down. There we go. Hopefully you can actually hear me a little bit better now. As time goes by, a day or two, I will be putting up a notification and a link below to the next video, which will be showcasing my actual Let's Play of this game. It will be up as soon as it possibly can, as it will be my first fully recorded game of playing this game. You can always get the demo from Steam. It is freely available, and I can just press single player here. You can only play as these 4 countries: Portugal, Venice, Austria, and the Ottomans. Now, hopefully the people that actually know how all this works will have gone on to the next video, but I want to say thank you to the people who are actually still watching this, because you want to know exactly how this game works, and I can give you a decent view of it. Now, Europa Universalis 4 is a grand strategy game. It encompasses the entire world, as you can see, as I scroll around, and it deals with nations. The Incas, the Aztecs, Spanish, Swedish, Polish, Muscovian, the Ottomans, the different Hindu tribes, Ming, China, Japanese, anyone basically. And yes, this does say that the game starts in 1st of January 1492. The real game doesn't. It starts in 1444, and I don't want to be quoted on the date, but it is the day after the last crusade is called off. And the world looks a tiny bit different from these 2 time periods, but you can start as late as the American Revolution and the French Revolution. But then you will not be playing that many years. So it is a grand strategy game because of the vastness of playability. You can play as anybody. You can play as Timurids, yeah, anyone. And the fact that it spans so much time. Now, people who are common with strategy games will know some of the basics, like moving units and so, but I am still going to show that for people who are completely new to strategy games. As we can only choose these 4, the easiest, I would say, at the start is Portugal. So, this is basically today's Portugal as well. And they have some colony or conquered territory here in Morocco. So let's play it. Now, the first time anybody sees this game, they are going to be, oh my god, what the hell am I supposed to do? Don't. As I said, Portugal is perhaps the best starting country to be. And this is the game view. I am going to hide these hints, but they will be very useful for anyone who has played this game. Now, here we can see some of the geography. We have an alliance with England, which is why we can actually see their troops. But otherwise than that, it's just a fog of war over here. We can just see our own provinces and the ones next to those. Now, first we're going to zoom in, and this is our army, our units. It says 14, but it actually means 14,000. It is to make it easier when you have 100,000 in the late game. Very late game. As you can see, this one consists of infantry, 10,000 troops, and 4,000 cavalry troops. These are a bit different, but I'll be getting into that one later. Now, I am going to change map modes, because as you can see, this isn't the most informative screen. Paradox have tried to make this screen much easier to use. You see these lines here, they are our border. But I don't feel they have done enough for people to actually play with this map. So down here we have a large map of the world, but also above here we have different map modes. There are even more here. Depending on what you want to do, each of these map modes are very useful to actually quickly see stuff on the map. But I'm going to go into political map mode. So now we see our country as one color, we have our neighbor Castile as one color, and each nation has their some of us similar colors, but most of them have unique colors. Austria, Hungary, Naples, Algiers, Morocco, so on and so forth. Now, you will, when you zoom out, the map just says Portugal, Castile, Aragon. When you zoom in, they disappear, and you get each province name. You also see the rivers very clearly. The provinces don't always go adjacent to the rivers, but sometimes they do. Not that often. But these small lines here outline the different provinces. This is one province. Now, if I click my units and right-click on a province, they will start walking there. They actually have a walking animation, which is a bit bugged because it doesn't show that very well what they actually do. Yeah, we'll get back to that. We also have two navies. One consisting of very light ships. They are used for trade, which I will be going into in my next video, because that is something completely new to this game, so everybody will want to hear about that. I won't be doing that one now. And here we have a fleet of heavy ships, basically used for pounding other ships, and a small transport fleet. The more of you that you have of these, the more troops you can actually transport with ships across the seas. Now, that is the most basic how you need to do unit movement, and really that is all you need to know to actually start the game. You don't need anything more, trust me. And if something goes wrong, you can reload. It autosaves quite often, every month I think. Or you can set it up as you wish, or you can just restart it. It doesn't really matter that much if you get off to a bad start. Now, up here we have some messages. These green ones are sort of important, but not critically important. Yellow messages are important. You need to check those quite good. Excuse me? Yeah. And red ones you need to check immediately, as they are very, very, very bad things going on. For example, declaring war without having a maintenance on your troops or paying your troops. They will fight very, very poorly then. We will not check these right now. We'll come back to those. Up here we have 5 stats. Here is our income, our treasury. We gain currently 1.4 ducats, which is the currency that every country uses. Yes, every country in the world. Not really historical, but for gameplay that is very good. And we gain some money, and we use a few things for money, buying stuff and so on. Here we have our manpower. This is the amount of troops we actually have out in these provinces that we don't currently use in an army. When our army is in battle, we lose some of these troops. Some of these will go down to 900 or 800 or much more if we actually lose the battle. When you do, a small amount of these troops will trickle back into these troops that you have deployed. And also, if you build more troops, they will take all of their troops from this manpower pool. But what is different from other games, especially Crusader Kings 2, is that this manpower pool regenerates very slowly. It takes 10 in-game years to fully replenish this manpower pool. It really doesn't matter how large it is, but it takes 10 years. Also, if you lose a lot of troops, then reinforcing them will take even longer. So, if you have your entire man pool out in troops walking around, and you lose nearly all of them, which basically means you have around 50 or 100 left of each of these, and they are completely battered. We will not be having any manpower then to reinforce them. So the total time of reinforcing completely battered troops is 10 years, and then another 10 years to fully get back the manpower. That is a very long time in game, I have to tell you. And you really don't want to lose your manpower, because the AI is smart enough to pounce on you when you don't have manpower, or when you basically are incapable of fighting a war. That's when they will attack you. The next one is stability. This doesn't really show what it does right now. I can't do anything about it at the moment. But it basically shows how stable your country is. The lower it is, the more rebellions you'll have, the less income you'll get. Basically everything gets worse as soon as you go under 0. So never be under 0. If you are, you need to increase it ASAP. If you go above 0, you get more money, you have a less revolt risk, you are better off entirely. So keeping this at 2 or 3 plus is vital. The lowest is -3, the highest is +3. So those are the limits. This shows your prestige. Now, people of Crusader Kings are familiar with the prestige, that you gain prestige by winning battles, by claiming your country, new lands, and so forth. But this is a dynamic counter. As you can see, I will actually lose 4.3 prestige this year. And far down here you can see the effects we get from having this high prestige. Because yes, plus 80 prestige is high. The highest you can get is 100. Can't go higher. It will always drop downwards. Some modifiers can be used to battle it. I know, for example, that Austria actually has a positive prestige even at this high. So yeah, they have a good one there. You should be able to keep this quite high if you play the game good. If you have very, very low, then you will have lost wars, you will be battered and broken, and it will just increase your nation's despair. This last one is legitimacy. It doesn't really affect your country that much. It is how much legitimate your government is. And we can actually go and check our government. You press this large shield and you get several tabs. These are used to control the background of your country. Now, Portugal is a despotic monarchy where the ruler reigns until he dies. Because of this, we get cheaper core creation and less damage to unjustified demands in peace. These are decent enough, but you can or can't do without. You can do without them. Now, I am not going to go into this part of this video, because that is entirely new to this game, and that will be covered in the next video. Our current king is producing this every month. The maximum is 6, the lowest is 0. And our heir is this, and he is slightly better, I would say. +2 in the left one and -1 in the right one. So yeah, these are decent. And he is of age. At 16 years, any ruler can actually take control of, and any heir can actually get control of the country if the father dies. If the heir is below 16 years, then there will be a regency council that will have its own stats to actually rule the country until the heir is old enough. If you don't have an heir at all, somebody else will jump in and completely random will jump in and take control of the country because you just don't have an heir. The dangerous thing here is that if you actually have a royal marriage, we'll get to the diplomacy later, you can actually risk getting into a personal union with someone else as a lesser state, and that's really bad. So you should always try to save your heirs. There are some events that can kill them. On the other hand, if you want to gamble a bit, your heir can be absolutely useless. He could be 0, 0, 0. These are random stats given, and they cannot be changed. The only exception is for democracies and trade or republics, as they are called in this game. They can actually choose leaders, and if they choose the same leader twice, he will actually get his stats increased. But that's the only exception. I'll get back to what these stats and what these means in the next video. Now, diplomacy. This is our king. We currently don't consider any other nation our enemy, and we haven't set who is our rival. I'll get back to these in the next video. They are entirely new. But here we can see all our relations with other nations, which is really handy, especially when you click, for example, on Castile. Here we can see that they are at war with Granada, down here, which they will probably win. It leads a personal union with Aragon. Here. And they have a royal marriage with them. France, on the other hand, has a lot of stuff going on here. They guarantee the independence of Scotland. They have casus belli, a reason to go to war with a lot of people. They have quite a few vassals. They have a royal marriage, leads a personal union. So you can check the diplomatic status of a enemy country or your own country. You can always press this button, your own country, and you're back to your own. Right now we are going to do a diplomatic move. This is England. They are at war with France over the last remnants of the British or the English empire on the continent, that is Calais. And as we can see, France has 51,000 troops around Calais, and England has 9. We can probably guess what's gonna happen here. Now, England is our ally, but they haven't called us into this war yet. And as soon as I unpause, they will. But I really don't want that, because that is going to end really badly for England. So, we have 2 diplomats that can be seen up here. We have no available merchants, they're already out doing their thing. Check next video for detailed mercantile. We have no colonists yet, we should be getting some soon. We have 2 diplomats available, and these are working a lot like Crusader Kings and Civ 5, that you don't actually consume these by sending them. You actually have these as named diplomats. You can see them here. And here we have a lot of different action that we can use. If you open all of these up, you have so much to do. Don't worry, don't check these, just you can check them, but you don't really have to do that much if you are very new to the game. Now, we are going to dissolve our alliance with England, because we really don't want this. Dissolve, and I get a confirm dialogue. Yes, send. We are no longer in alliance with them. And up here we can see our relations. Excuse me. Dry throat. Now, we currently have a minus 25 and a neutral attitude. That is their opinion towards us. The bottom one is our opinion of them. The important one is about this upper one, but the difference can actually be important in some cases. And they actually like us, plus 25, because we have the same religion, we're both Catholic. But we just broke our alliance with them, and that pisses them off a lot. Minus 50. This will go away by 1.8 per year. So over the next 25 years, 27 years, something like that, they will actually have forgotten that we broke this alliance with them. But right now they will not even bother to speak with us. That is the diplomacy. As you can see, here are some rebels in Austria. They will create their own kingdom soon. Or maybe Republic, I'm not sure what they will form. Let's go back down to Portugal and our troops and country. Now, we have... I know that a lot of this will be overwhelming. Relax, don't worry. A lot of this is something that will come naturally as you play along. You'll learn what all of this is, and so forth. Here we have the basics of our country, the economy. Here we have our income. We get 6.85 from taxation from our subjects, some production, a fair bit of trade, and some tariffs from our colonies. Yes, we do have a few colonies, even if we don't have a colonist yet. Also, you actually have to pay some money for things. So our fleet costs us 4, our army costs us 4, our colonies cost us 6. But these are sliders, so you can move them up and down. And I'm going to set the fleet at about 50 and army quite low. That way I don't have to spend these because I'm not at war. And I get some more money every month. This is your monthly income of money. If you have a negative balance, you will lose money. And when you hit 0, you will automatically take a loan. Don't worry, loans are pretty safe to take, and you can repay them whenever you want. We currently don't have any loans. And excuse me. And we can just take a loan if we just want to. But if we take too many, and by too many I mean dozens and dozens, then we get into bad, because then our inflation will just be going up and up and up. We will be repaying loans by taking new loans and in a very bad spiral towards bankruptcy. But you really need to be way off money for that to happen. But these are the 4 sliders in the game. In previous games these have been a dozen sliders to affect a lot of things, and they have been removed in this game. Now, next one is trade. I am actually going to skip this one and do this in the next video because the trade system has been completely overhauled. Technology. We are in the Western Tech Group, which is the not most advanced one yet, but we gain technologies at a normal speed of 100%. Other nations or cultures like well, we can't see that many others, but the Ottomans, for example, have 125% normal. Akunuyu, which we see a little bit of here, has 175% of normal, and they get less. Let's see. No, I'm going to save this and IDs. I'm going to save tech and IDs for next video because they have also been very changed. Missions and decisions. I'm skipping ideas. Yeah. Uh, Whenever you don't have an active mission, you will be getting this warning. It is not a big warning, but it is some. Now, you can actually choose a mission for your country, what your country should be doing. This first one says that we should achieve religious unity, and we'll get some prestige and some powers. We can solidify our papal relations, which means we should improve our relation with the papal state over in Rome. Or expand our buffer zone by invading Morocco. But right now I want to achieve religious unity, so I just click that one, and now we have that mission. You see the pop-up faded away. Now we are currently, I think I can just click this button, religious button, and now we see all the religions in the area. Most of Europe is Catholic, some shall must remain, Orthodox in Eastern, Sunni in here, Shiite in here, and we can't really see that much further. But we do have two areas down here, if you remember. I can just swap back and forth between these. These two are ours, but they are of the Sunni religion, which means that we get a revolt risk. The people can actually rise up with armies of their own, trying to reunite with their religious kin or force us to convert. Goods produced, basically less money, and local tax modifier less money. So converting people are really important to unify your country and get more. And by unifying, I can just click this, because this is our last person, our missionary. We have one, and these are just the modifiers to what will happen, what is basically affecting our missionary. It will take him over 100 months to convert, and a monthly progress of almost 1. Okay. So now he is standing here, preaching. But we just got a yellow message, which means that there is a risk of a religious revolt here. So we go back to vertical map mode. Now I want these troops to not move. I just click the same province they're in and they stop. They have a few actions, but you don't need to go into those at the moment. I am going to transport... No, I'm not. I'm going to build. Because as we saw earlier, our fleet consists of 6 transport ships. This means I can transport 6,000 units from here to anywhere. But we have 14,000 units, which is too much. So I am going to build 2 cogs. That is the ship that transport these. I can either click the province, I click build ship. Here we have the 4 different ship types we can build, and I'm going to press cog. And it says here that it will be finished on the 12th of June this year. Or, if I want to build a lot of them, and I want to build one more, I don't want to build it here, because it's already building one. It can't build 2 at the same time. So I press production interface. This is also new, but I will bring this up again later on. Here we have everything we can recruit. So I just press cog. Now this here shows that here I'm already building something, so I can't use it right now, but it can be put in a queue when that is finished to go on. Red means I can't even build that here because it's not coastal. You can't build cogs on inland, but here we can. Here we also see that it will cost us 12 ducats of our treasury of 110, and we can see how long it takes. Now, if I build it here, it takes 5 more days. Here it takes 62, here it takes 67, so I'm going to build it here. It's the same price in all 4, but it's a slightly faster build. And then yeah, I'm just going to send this off there and unpause. Now the game has, this is real time, so as you see, as I start the game, the days start counting. This is the slowest speed, 1, it goes 1 day every 3 seconds or so. So playing nearly 400 years on this speed will take a long time. Even if you put this up on speed 5, it goes much faster. Ooh, and we pause again, because we get some messages. We are producing fish in a colony, that's great. Our diplomat has returned from England, that's great. And yeah. I need to do it sometimes. I'm going to turn this down to 3 and on pause, and we will go on. As you saw, even on speed 5, you will still be playing this for 24 hours before reaching the very end, and that's just playing one country on one difficulty. You can play any other country and have a much easier or much harder game. So that is one of the really big pros of this game, that it is so vast in these terms. I really hope that wasn't thunder I heard just outside, because then I will have to cut this video very short. We shall see. Here we have a small man building a boat. And we can see a small bar. When it is full, the boat will be done. Same up here. And we can even mouse over and it will present information. Using the mouse and just hovering will give a lot more information. These events that pop up, they pop up a lot, but not too much. Ooh. Gift to the state. Good governors would sometimes promote the nobility and the businessmen of the realm to donate cash to the treasury, out of pure patriotism, or in exchange for the sales or transfer of honorary titles and positions. Put this money into the treasury, we gain 34.69 ducats, which is good, or gain 10 prestige. Now we have a lot of money and we gain even more. We don't need that much more right now, but our prestige could use an extra boost. This will give us 2.5 years of decay. So I'm going to go with the prestige. Basically, we hand the money back as returns to the people that gave them, and that will give us a good prestige. Now, I have just clicked my fleet in here and clicked it on this province, and this fleet or ship will then move here. And yes, I know the animations are screwed at the moment. Now we have 3 fleets here, but I just want to use one. And we have a few buttons here. We can assign a leader, which we have. We can select a single one of these by pressing this, and we will just get that one fast enough. But this button merges all of these into one fleet, and that's what we want. Now I'm going to select these troops, and they are still far too big to transport, but we don't actually need to transport everybody at the same time. I can just split these in half by pressing this button, and then attach to transport. If there is a transport nearby, this button goes red around. Now I press fleet and press yeah. Now the troops go onto the ships and they are transported to the area. Now we have rebel suppression here with these troops, so if somebody rises up, they will be instantly attacked by our troops. But I am going to go back with my fleet and pick up the rest of my troops. I'm going to do that slightly different because you can just walk the troops onto the ships if they are here. It takes much longer. But if you don't own the territory, you can't dock, so that can be useful then. And we're sending them down there. And then I drag box select both of them. Ooh, a colony has grown to become a province. Excellent. And we merge them. These are the very, very basics of this game. Let's see. Here we have the African coast, and we have a small colony down here as well. And some pirates. Oh, that's good. I can show some. Them. Go dock there. Oh, we have a colony down here as well. I don't mind bringing the transports for this fight, because this is going to be a fight. Whenever you... Oh, and... Pause. Because of our relative notability, we are in a position to support the Italian artists in the Florentine School. Being perceived as patrons of international art will definitely help our propaganda efforts. Of course, they shall have support. Portugal gets supporting the Florentine School until 14th May 1503. That's 10 years of a yearly prestige of +4. So basically that's 40 prestige over 10 years. But it will cost us a significant amount of admin power and some diplo power. Yes, I'll be getting that to those. And some ducats. Or we can lose 5 prestige by declining. Now remember, this is over the years, so that is actually better, because we are almost at our limit, and by selecting this, we will not be losing prestige for 10 years, which is very, very good, because we can keep all these effects from our current prestige, of course. Now our fleet will be moving. And yep. Now I'm going to send them down here. They will move. The reason I docked is that all troops, when not in home friendly territory, takes attrition. So our ships are at 100%. But if we move out here, we'll be getting repairs needed and so forth on the ships. Now we are closer to our area, so we actually have supply ships. Here is what I want to show you. We are now in a fight with pirates that have set up here. We don't have a leader, they don't have a leader, it's not that big of a deal. But we have 6 ships, these above here, are firing on these ships, thus reducing their health. This percentage. And we are losing some as well. We can see that we have a low morale, and they have a higher morale than us. If your morale goes to 0, you will flee the battle. If you lose all your forces, then you're dead. Then that's it for that fleet or troops. Land battles look a bit different. The reason we have so low morale is because earlier in our economy, I reduced our fleet maintenance. So because we have this low, the morale of our navies is not the best. But we should overpower these. Lowering the speed so we can watch this fight. I'm pausing again. You also see this dice. Every round there is a dice roll. This decides how much damage you're going to do and how well you're going to defend against the other. Now they also rolled a 9, and it is a 9-sided dice. So 1 through 9. No, 0 through 9. And their morale is sinking quickly. We just rolled 2 against 0. They are losing badly their ships. And we won the battle. This is the result of any battle. You get a small screen. We gained some tradition. I'll get to that in a minute. And the pirates lost. Okay. Now, 2 of our ships have taken damage, which is why they are not at 100%. You have to, unless you have something special, you have to go into port to repair. The lower your maintenance is, the longer the repair takes. But as long as you have maintenance, they will repair. If you have 0 maintenance, they will not repair at all. So, we own this island here. And we're going to dock them up. Oh yeah, we were on missions before. These missions are changed after some time, depending on the era. They are of a way to advance your nation as it historically did. The reward for doing this is actually quite good for such a mission, but usually it's just a little bit of prestige and some money or some power. But that's it. They don't give massive, huge bonuses. Now, down here are national decisions. There are a lot of decisions, and you can always check what you need to do by hovering over the question mark. For example, Portugal can form Spain, but to do that we have to own and have a core. I'll get to what those 2 are. in Barcelona, Arsenal, Castile, Salamanca, Andalusia, Toledo, and Valencia, in both a core and owned, which is what Castile will be mostly doing. All of these others, all below this green, we can't do at the moment. They're grayed out. But you can always check what they will do when you get them. I can, for example, introduce church taxes. But then we either have to not be Catholic, or have structural restrictive appeals. This one. We need this one before we can do this one. A few of these have these restrictions. And we need a theologian as an advisor. I'll get to the advisors in the next video. If we do this, we'll be getting church tax, which means we'll get a little bit higher revolt risk in all our nation, but we'll be getting a massive boost to our tax modifier, how much tax we actually get. Now we can formalize scales, weighs, and measures. So we have one set of measurements in the nation. We can do this because we have administrative power of 50. That's this power. And we have administrative technology of 5, at least. And by pressing this, we will lose the administrative power and gain 5% national tax modifier, which is really big. We can see now that our treasury gains 7.79. I enact this, and it hasn't updated. Yeah, the treasury updates every month, so this includes loans. If you take a loan or if you're at negative money, it won't actually take the loan until the end of the month. That is when it registers that you actually have to take a loan. Did that just go down? It shouldn't have. Anyway, right now 5% of 7 isn't that much, really. But 5% when you have 1,000, that's a lot. That's 50 extra. And if you have a very large empire, then yes, 1,000 taxation income is actually good. Very good. But we were on the decisions. Now we can't do any more of these, so let's move on. Stability and expansion. These are very changed from the previous game to this one, so I'm going to skip this one as well. Don't worry, I'm taking notes. I will be getting back to these later on. But shortly, this is how bad your people think the war is going that you have, or how exhausted they are that they have been at war, that men have gone missing, or they're pulling out taxes, and that sort of stuff. This is our stability. We can up the stability when we want to. Overextension, if we expand too much, we get a penalty, and the risk of revolts is shown up. And this is our colonial stats. Religion will play it plays an important part in this game. I'm just going to check this. Excellent viceroys. Every so often a country is blessed with honest men working hard for the state. A number of good viceroys across our overseas territories are giving us a real boost. Overseas income plus 10%. That won't actually help us much at all. But it's good to have if you have a large colonial empire. Now, religion. We are of the Catholic faith. Catholics accept or tolerate the true faith a bit better, and they don't tolerate heretics that much. Our tolerance towards the Catholic in our country is +5. This basically means that any area that has Catholic religion will be getting a -5 revolt risk. So you can actually, what's the word, extort them a little bit more before they become pissed off. That is just for the true faith. Heretics, on the other hand, are those of the Catholic faith, not Catholic, but of the it's currently the Orthodox that only apply to these, but later on it will be Protestants and Reformats will be belonging to this group. Right now, Catholics actually hate these, or Portugal hates these more than the heathens, which are every other major religion in the world. Why is that? Oh, because we have the Blasphemy Act active. Let me just see what that is. Yeah, we have enacted this one prior to the game starting. Our missionaries are 1% stronger, but we tolerate heretics less. And because we're Catholic, we are tolerating them even less. There is currently no defender of the faith. The papal state, Lithuania is currently in control over the papacy, so they can choose crusades and so on towards other religious nations. And here we see our religious unity, which we have a mission. We need to be 100% unified. Currently we are converting the people of Ceuta that have the Sunni religion, and we are converting them to Catholics, and it will take some time. But you get every single province that you have that isn't your own state religion will appear here, and you see how long it will take to convert them, and you can send off missionaries to these provinces. And last but not least, military. Now these are just stats. You don't have to worry that much about them. We currently have 2 leaders, 2 out of 1, which is costing us some, but not that much. We have an explorer and we have a conquistador. Conquistadors, oh yeah, now would be a good time to talk about that. Now, as you can see, I'm zooming out, we know some of the world. As Portugal, we know quite a bit of the world, actually. But we don't know everything. The rest of this is terra incognita, unexplored territory. Exploring west here, we will be discovering the American continent. And the only way to do that is to have one of these explorers on a ship. That way he can actually move into the terra incognita on sea. The conquistador is the same, but only on land. I can actually show how that works quickly if I can zoom in. These are repaired. I am going to create a unit, detach a ship, select it, assign a leader, assign the explorer, and then I just press the Terran implementer. It will now go out there and explore this sea province. Will be more. No, we actually won't. Oh yeah, we will. Here we have. Now we are taking some attrition every month, which reduces our ship's ability to move and ability to exist. If this reaches 0 and he is out here, he sinks and dies. And here we discover this. We didn't discover what this island is. As you can see, we have Terra included on it. Ships don't automatically discover everything that they pass, but they discover a lot. And we can continue with this one. The longer a ship stays at sea, time at sea, the more attrition you take. So you need to get back to port from time to time. Armies can also get attrition, but they usually do that in enemy territory where there is a supply. I will be getting to supplies when these ships are actually discovering some land over here. And this ledger here is very useful because you can have an overlook of what is happening in your realm rather easily. Diplomatic move. Diplomacy between nations was often affected by random events from both sides involved. Most of the time these factors were beyond the control of the foreign ministers involved. For new diplomats, we gain some diplomatic power, okay? Or we can improve relations. We gain less power and we get a relationship boost with a country. Now, we don't want good relations with Morocco. We're going to invade them. Or Portugal would have, well, something. So we're going to take full. Now we are down to 61%, and I fear that this explorer is not going to be able to go much further. But we have discovered some of South America, so I'm going to send him back to. Yeah, that's it. National Epic. Yearly prestige and costs a little, or lose prestige. I don't mind. Having 100 prestige is actually really good. Oh yeah. Supply. I guess we can do both at the same time, because here we have one last box. These numbers are actually quite important. Army tradition. That the more your troops are in battle, the more they are hardened and learn how to do things on their own. They don't have to be told by their leaders. So if you have a high tradition of being in battle, then your troops will fight so much better. You'll recover better, you'll get more troops into your armies fast. We have a set morale for our land troops. This will increase over time with the technology. And the most important thing here, force limit. We are currently limited to having 20,000 troops without penalties. If we go above this, we will be. It will cost us a lot of money for every troop above it. Right now we are at 14, so we are nowhere near this limit. And ship the same tradition, morale, and force limit. tactics is how wide the area of your fighting is. I could probably... I can declare... No, I can't. Yeah. The area that you fight in will be larger, so that you can actually be flanking your enemies much easier. This is also gained by technology. Discipline is how much damage your troops actually do. 100% is, well, normal damage. If you have 125%, your troops will deal 25% more damage than the enemy, if that one has 100%. Defensiveness. It says prestige. Oh yeah, prestige affects it, but what does it do? This impacts how long they will be. Oh. When you go to an enemy province or the enemy comes to you, there is a siege. But this is also slightly new to this game, so I will be showcasing that in the next video. Down here we can actually recruit troop leaders, but right now we can only have one leader without paying for it, and that's not paying money, that's paying power, and that's bad. Yeah. We can recruit down here, and we can also convert our ruler to lead our troops. That will considerably shorten his life if we are in a lot of battles, but sometimes you really want to get rid of your king, especially if he's bad. And the opposite is true, that you can put your heir as military leader, and that can perhaps kill him if you want to, and if he is really bad. And that is about it. That is the basics of this game. Tomorrow evening, I hope, I will be uploading the first full video of normal gameplay of this game. Yes, I am aware that there is a hack for this demo, but I am not going to use it, as I am actually quite honest with this game. Paradox is a very good gaming company and they make great games, so I really want to support them without using hacks or something like that. So until then, or if you just click the link either on the screen or in the box below, you will be in to the next video. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon.